Hi co-creators, welcome back to Transcendence Tinkering. Today we will be checking out my new pottery wheel. So I just got a new pottery wheel and I've been having a lot of fun creating different things, but I finally got my bats. I finally got a few. Hold on, let me show you what those are. Just in case you are unaware, these are pottery belts. They come in different shapes and sizes, and it's just what sits on top of the wheel while it's spinning so that you can effortlessly transport your pieces to the kiln without damaging it. So yeah, I finally got the bats, so now just I can stop just playing around with the clay and start creating some pieces. So that's what we're going to be doing in this tinkering video today, so I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, Google, play music.
All right, music on Spotify. Here you go.
So first I had to clean my messy bat from my previous pieces. How satisfying is this? So I found out that it is good to combine the molecules in your clay just by pulling the clay up and then pushing it down and continuing to do that a few times helps to make the molecules in the clay communicate and combine with each other more effortlessly. The next step was to clean up the bottom of the piece a little bit just by sliding this tool at the bottom of it. And I'm trying to just make a little plate base for this piece. And I found after doing it for a while that holding it with two hands actually made it a lot easier to stabilize the tool. So that's a little hack there. I'm definitely not strong enough in the wrist area to hold it with one hand. Now I don't want my piece to be prickly or spiky anywhere. I want to be able to smoothly glide my hands across my piece. So I paid a lot of attention to cleaning it up with a chamois and the sponge. Oh my God. This part was really fun because the funny thing is that you're not actually gonna see this part again. I'm literally making a pretty design just to cover it up with the bat. But I just felt like this was really cool because I was making this really cool design. Yeah, so if your wheel head doesn't have little notches in the side for the bats to go on top of, you can just flatten some clay down and then go ahead and throw the bat right on top and just make sure it's secure there. So now it's time to make my hole in the center and then begin to pull the walls out to try and make a bowl. This part was kind of difficult with the type of bat I had just because I couldn't secure my hand on the bottom, like touching the bat in the wheel. I couldn't do that because the bat kept chopping the back of my hand. So it was so much more difficult with this little bat.
Get yourself off the ground. Not gonna let you down. Yeah, we could.
Since I'm making a jar, it's really important to try and make the lid diameter and the bowl diameter similar sizes, and of course the lid would have to be bigger for this type of jar I'm making. So I used that stick earlier, a handy dandy measuring tool, when there is a specific one I can get that I'll have to get for the future, but it worked out pretty good. I just drew lines where it was supposed to be. And this part really shows how expansive learning ceramics can be, because you don't only have to make plates and mugs and stuff like that. You can make anything you want. I've seen so many different things on Pinterest and online in different places of people making these amazing things, you know, really like amazing little sculptures out of ceramics. So this was a lot of fun. I was really able to use my imagination and bring some life to the lid. It really is starting to look like a mushroom, and I love it. I really wanted to show you guys how I was securing down these little additions to the top. I was just rolling out some clay and then sticking it in the corners and pressing it down with one of my tools that I dampened a little bit in the clay bucket. So this is just so that when it dries, it has more of a foundation, and I didn't have to push down on the lid, because then I would have pushed a hole through the top. It's amazing because the clay is so soft at this point. It really makes you feel like you're playing with like bread, sort of, and you're just like forming the bread and stuff like that. It's so satisfying and fun, and it's amazing, so amazing that this is gonna turn into something solid and something I'm gonna be able to, you know, put more pressure to eventually. So it's just so cool how this works, and it really goes to show that you can create anything in this world, like even down to this cute little mushroom jar that I'm making right now. All right, co-creators, here is the jar about 2 days after drying. And I put these little papers, cut up these little strips of newspaper and put it in the jar like that so that it could dry together without sticking together. But it just helps with formation and just making sure all of the pieces are drying kind of at the same time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. I try and get them out weekly. Toodles!